Sylvia Saber with OpTv Global Headlines. Starting with the top international stories for the day. Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa and co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bill Gates, had a telephonic conversation. According to the ISPR, matters related to Pakistan's commitment for comprehensive polio eradication and COVID-19 were discussed. The United Nations honored 129 military, police, and civilian personnel from 44 countries, including 2 Pakistani peacekeepers who lost their lives while serving in peacekeeping operations during 2020. Pakistan's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Munir Akram, accepted the awards on behalf of the families of the fallen Pakistani peacekeepers Sepoy Muhammad Azhar Aziz and Imtiaz Hussain. The UN Human Rights Council has decided to create an open-ended international investigation into violations and crimes surrounding the latest Israeli violence in besieged Gaza. But Israel's foreign ministry rejected the resolution and said it will not cooperate with the investigation. Pentagon rapidly making plans to evacuate potentially thousands of interpreters who worked for coalition forces in Afghanistan over the past 2 decades to protect their safety. We recognize that there are a significant amount of Afghans that supported the United States and that they could be at risk, Joint Chiefs Chairman General Mark Milley said while showing the concern. NATO countries would continue to support Afghanistan through civilian experts who will help to advise government ministries by funding the security forces and with support for slow-moving peace talks, says NATO Secretary General. Bashar al-Assad will serve a 4th term in office after winning Syria's presidential election. Syria's opposition called the vote a farce, while the US and European countries said it was not free or fair. More than 3 dozen bodies pulled from the water by Nigerian rescue workers after an overcrowded riverboat sank, leaving more than 150 people missing who are feared drowned. The wooden boat ferrying passengers to a market broke apart and sank traveling between central Niger State and Wara. Up next, we have the national updates. Pakistan values its defense cooperation with Russia. According to ISPR, Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa, who said this during a meeting with the Russian ambassador. Bilateral defense cooperation, the Afghan peace process, and regional and global issues were discussed during the meeting. Yawm-e-Takbir, the celebration of Pakistan's atomic explosions in 1998, is being observed today with a pledge to make the country economically and militarily strong. The day is commemorated every year on May 28th to remember the conduction of nuclear tests on the very day in 1998, making Pakistan 7th nuclear nation of the world and first Islamic state equipped with nuclear arsenal. Prime Minister Imran Khan visited Nowshera to perform groundbreaking of Rakshai Special Economic Zone being developed under China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. The project will boost trade and economic activities in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and about 300,000 direct and indirect job opportunities for the people. In a surprising move, the government has transferred Secretary Finance Kamran Ali Afzal and posted as Secretary for Industries and Production Division. The development has taken place with 2 weeks left in the upcoming budget. The government has appointed Yusuf Khan as the Secretary in charge with immediate effect. Opposition leader in the National Assembly Shehbaz Sharif gave flaming remarks for Prime Minister Imran Khan. He said that the Prime Minister hates me so much that he never writes my name in the consultation letter and addresses me with only leader of the opposition. Cracks appear within PMLN over party leadership. Shehbaz Sharif wants PMLN to hold dialogue with state institutions and wants Maryam Nawaz to desist from criticizing establishment. Nawaz Sharif as father and I as uncle will politically groom Maryam Nawaz, he said. Trade with Afghanistan through Torkham remained suspended on the 3rd consecutive day. Officail tribesmen continued their protest and blockade of the main road leading to the border crossing. Their protest would continue till the fulfillment of the 4 major demands with concrete guarantees from the regional security officials. A 4.2 magnitude earthquake shook Balochistan's Khuzdar Friday morning. Earthquake had its epicenter 30 kilometers southwest of Kuzdar with a depth of 15 kilometers, according to the National Seismic Monitoring Center. No loss of life or property has been reported so far. Up next, we have the health updates. Pakistan has reported the lowest positivity rate since March 9, with 75 deaths in the last 24 hours by novel coronavirus. Punjab remains the worst hit province by the pandemic both in terms of cases as well as deaths, followed by Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Balochistan. China has denounced US efforts to further investigate whether COVID-19 came from a Chinese lab. China's foreign ministry accused the US of political manipulation by releasing an intelligence report on the origins of the virus. Up next, we have the sports updates. The UAE is all set to host the remaining matches of the 6th edition of the Pakistan Super League, but the players will have to face tough weather conditions. Temperatures at Sheikh Zayed Cricket Stadium are likely to be 33 to 38 degrees Celsius for the next 15 days. Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and Roger Federer, the three most successful men in Grand Slam tennis history, were on Thursday all drawn in the same half of the French Open. Nadal, the 13-time champion, and top-ranked Djokovic are two great rivals could now meet in the semi-finals this year. Up next, we have the news on the entertainment world. Pakistani actress and model Jia Ali has tied the knot with Hong Kong-based businessman Imran Idris. The nikah of the couple was taken place at Lahore's famous Badshahi Mosque in the presence of close relatives and friends. In the history of Pakistan's first transgender, Shaira Roy from Lahore has been crowned Miss Trans Pakistan 2021. She is now eligible for the Miss Universe title and is all set to represent Pakistan in Thailand, Dubai, Turkey, Philippines, and France this year. Future James Bond films will continue to be screened in cinemas despite Amazon's deal to buy the movie studio that co-owns the rights to 007. Bond producers stress that they are committed to continuing to make James Bond films for the worldwide theatrical audience and not only for Amazon's streaming. Bollywood actor Imran Hashmi is to play the role of a street-smart and rebellious Pakistani agent in the third installment of Salman Khan's Tiger series. This will be the first time when Salman and Imran will be sharing the screen. Bollywood actor Kartik Aaryan has opted out of Shah Rukh Khan's production venture Freddie months after Karan Johar's Dostana 2 exit. Kartik had demanded a change in the script as he was not pleased with it after signing the project. Up next, we have the business updates. Pakistan's exports are increasing by 13.4% and have reached to $21 billion during the first 10 months of the fiscal year. The National Assembly was also informed that the government has decided to import wheat and sugar to avoid shortage and price hike. The gold price dropped to $1,894 an ounce in the international market, while in Pakistan, gold's price per tola dropped 950 rupees. A tola of gold is now selling for rupees 111,800. Up next, we have the updates on science and technology. The world is at risk of hitting temperature limits soon. A major study says by 2025, there's a 40% chance of at least 1 year being 1.5 degrees Celsius hotter than the pre-industrial level, and a key global temperature will be reached in one of the next 5 years. Dell Technologies and HP warned the ongoing computer chip shortage could impact their ability to meet the demand for laptops this year. Reports said that HP's PC-related sales rose 27% in the quarter ended April 30th, while notebook sales surged 47% from the same period a year.